whole team has really gelled, maybe because of number 30.
Gogolak now will try one from the 46-yard line. It is good. It is good. The second one today for Gogolak to increase the Giants' lead now to 34-17 with 1 minute and 42 seconds to play.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And before we get started, just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you so much. If you give this video a thumbs up, or maybe leave a comment below, or possibly share this video, it would mean so much to me. But just anyway, thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. All right, well, there was apparently Evan Engram was kind of absent from practice. Huh? Now exactly what does that mean? is he, nursing the calf injury? I mean, is he in there getting treatment? Or is he kind of being put off to the side, someplace where he can't get hurt, like Jabrill Peppers, until, until the trade goes through? I mean, I'm just... you type in like New York Giants on Google, whatever, and it's like the top 37, trade interest in Evan Engram. Evan Engram, trade interest, heat up. Evan Engram, where's he going to get traded to? I mean, it's like nothing but Evan Engram. I mean, still got till next Tuesday, so we still got a few days to go, 4 o'clock, so, but it's, it really seems to be heating up quite a bit, as I said. I mean, he's had the calf injury. Had it since the preseason. So if he's hurt, you could probably pretty much kiss any kind of, I mean, if it's, I guess if he's hurt and it's only going to maybe a week, I guess there's a possibility. But if it's something, bad, it might be a few weeks, you could just forget about any type of trades for him. So maybe they're, he's kind of off someplace where he can't get hurt. Now there's, I'm seeing a whole bunch of teams. I mean, where I was seeing online, I saw, like the Bengals, got the Bills, I saw the Colts. Let's see, and I saw the Saints. I mean, they're all kind of, honestly, all of them are like teams that have playoff aspirations. Some of them are almost, I don't want to say locks to make the playoffs, but some of them are, like the Bills. I mean, if you sort of Bills' upcoming schedule, you say they're pretty much a lock to be in the playoffs. But got like the Bengals, all right? They have C.J. Uzomah, okay? But, he's not as dynamic as Evan Engram is, all right? And he's never had any more than 43 receptions in a season, or he's never had more than 440 yards receiving in a season. All right. So now if you can take Evan Engram, all right, and pair him up with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, Joe Burrow's going to have some weapons to throw to. Their defense is certainly adequate. God, look what they did in Baltimore. To the Ravens. They did a good job. And with the offense that the Bengals have, okay, with Burrows, as long as you can stay healthy and all and everything, with the weapons he has, their defense doesn't have to shut everybody out. Just kind of control them, and the Bengals should score enough points and win. The Bengals are 5-2, So, I'm not saying they're a lock for the playoffs and all like that, but right now they're 5-2. They're looking pretty good. And if you can add Evan Engram into that mix, that offensive mix, whoo, watch out. Jamar Chase, man, get the dude the ball. He could take it to the house in any play. Wow. All right. Then you got, the Buffalo Bills. They're going to be without their tight end Dawson Knox. There was a bone in his hand, okay, that he broke or fractured or so. And right after the game was over, the Monday night game, Tuesday he went under the knife and got it operated on. Okay, but he's going to be out for a couple weeks. All right, so. See, with the Bills, it's kind of up in the air. You know what I mean? It's like, do they really, they could use Evan Engram, but they're one tight end. Dawson Knox is going to come back. He'll be back in a week or two. All right, so do they want to give up a draft pick for Evan Engram? I mean, it would certainly help out their offense. I mean, especially if it's like a 5th rounder or maybe a 6th rounder. The thing is, if they're going to get Evan Engram, they're going to want to sign him for next year. But I mean, if they do and they get him for next year too, I mean, if they can get the dude to catch the frickin' ball and all of that, I mean, with Allen and Diggs and company, I mean, wow. I mean, they're already, top dog as far as I'm concerned in the AFC, okay? I don't care if they lost to the Titans, they're still top dog, all right, in the AFC. Then you look at, I mean, my goodness, I mean, look at their frickin' schedule they're playing. They're playing against the Dolphins, the 1-6 Dolphins. Then they're going to play the 1-5 Jaguars. Then they're going to play the 1-5 Jets. So basically I think they're 5-2. I think they're 8-2. Okay, plain and simple. All right. I mean, what a joke of a schedule. So I mean, the thing is, it's kind of like they're playing 3 basically high school teams coming up. All right, they're going to win all 3 of those, and they're going to do it without their tight end. Their main tight end. So do they really need another one? But I just saw their name, pop up. So it's like, well, what the heck? Why not? Then I got the Colts. I mean, the Colts were 2-4 going into playing when they were playing San Fran in that rainstorm. What a stormy game that one was, huh? So they were 2-4. If they lost that one and went 2-5, I mean. Then you want to start trading away draft picks coming up to get maybe a player, and who may or may not wind up helping you out. But they won. Now they're 3-4. They're back in that playoff hunt. I mean, it's this weekend coming up. I mean, the season's only. I mean, it's week 8. There's 17 games. I mean, so you got after this weekend's over, the season's almost halfway over. As crazy as that is, right? So I mean, now they're 3-4. All right, yeah, to help out Carson Wentz, if he gets a dynamic player like Evan Engram, why not? Right? It's a thought. Then I saw the New Orleans Saints. Okay, I'm like, well, all right, well, yeah, all right, that makes sense. I mean, the Saints are doing good. I mean, they don't even have Thomas. I mean, imagine if they could get Thomas to play for them. I mean. Right? I mean, and they're doing good. I mean, with Jameis Winston and all that, I mean, they're really, really doing good. Now, at 4-2, all right, I mean, they're in the playoff line. I mean, they're behind the Bucs, all right, but I mean, they're 4-2. I mean, they're there, all right? The thing was that I saw was in Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston, all right, he really likes throwing to the tight ends, so this would make a lot of sense. What I saw is, in his time in Tampa Bay, he would average throwing the ball to his tight ends 108 times per season. And out of those 108 times, the tight ends there would average 71 receptions a season for 859 yards a season and 9 touchdowns a season. That's what his tight ends averaged when Jameis Winston played at Tampa Bay. 71 receptions, 9 touchdowns, 859 yards. So he's comfortable throwing to the tight ends. So this would make sense. I mean, even they're always, seems like the Saints are always struggling with the cap and all. I don't know if they could wind up signing them long term or anything like that. Who knows? But I mean, this would certainly help them out. I mean, they could certainly use some firepower on offense, and if they can get Evan Engram, why not? Then I was looking, and I saw this too. I mean, I just keep looking and looking and looking, and then I saw on there was a story on Facebook. It says 3 Evan Engram landing spots, and I'm like, yeah, okay. So I checked it out, and three new teams. I saw the Los Angeles Rams. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, wow. I mean, the firepower they got. I mean, add Evan Engram to that, and the defense they got. Wow, holy cow. And then spot number 2 would be the Tennessee Titans, right? Okay. You know, let's see. You know, I mean, Evan Engram, I mean, you know, and Derrick Henry, but you add Evan Engram to the wide, Julio Jones, I mean, you know, I mean, wow. Okay. I mean, all right. You know, I mean, somebody can use him in the right way. I mean, he's only 27, all right? You know, I mean, okay. I can see that, all right? And then the last one makes, all right, why not? Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, the Green Bay Packers. Could you imagine Rogers, right? Throwing the ball at him? I mean, Rogers will get him open. Ain't no question about that. He'll throw him open. Don't you worry about that. I mean, as good as they're doing, holy cow, give Aaron Rodgers Evan Engram? Wow. Watch out. So there's as Dan Deerdorf would say, a plethora of teams that, you know, possibility that Evan Engram could go to. So it's not just like one team, all right? So there's a bunch of teams. So, you know, it would be, you know, sometime, in a way, it'll be a shame to see him go, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, everybody leaves sooner or later, and if you can get rid of them, you know, get rid of that headache, the Evan Engram headache anymore. You don't have to worry about him anymore, and maybe in return get maybe a 5th rounder. We got 10 picks next year, right? 2 firsts, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, and if we can get a 5th, we have 2 5th rounders. Woo! All right, you know. That would be pretty good. All right. Now, along with Evan Engram, all right, there's some other guys that, you know, hopefully we do not wind up bringing back next year. And Nate Solder should be one of them. Should just let him go. I was reading that if we release him prior to next June 1st, okay, we'll create $14 million in cap space. There'll be a $4 million dead cap hit, but we'll be saving $14 million, okay? Now, his pass blocking grade, all right, this year, it's a 44.4. He's so far, you know, a little less than half a season, he's given up 3 sacks, 6 hits, and 13 hurries. All right, so, you know, he's just, we draft somebody or prepare it in there or whatever, but you got to get rid of him, especially also because I think we only have $3 million salary cap for next year, okay? And we have, right now, we have 10 draft picks. Those 10 draft picks, especially the 2 first rounders, those 10 draft picks are going to cost us at least 10 to possibly $12 million. At least. It depends upon how, like the first rounders, I mean, how high they are. I mean, if we're picking in the top 10, I mean, you know, each one could be $2, $3, $4, $5 million a piece. It depends upon exactly where they draft at. But then all the second round is at least $1 million. All the others are like $700,000, $800,000. But I mean, you're looking at least $10 to $12 million to sign those guys. We have $3 million. You got to come up with money someplace. And we don't even have a whole team signed either. We have, I think, 43 guys under contract, I believe it is. So we got to add some guys too. You know, which basically would probably be much the draft picks. So I mean, so if you can get rid of Solder, all right, say 14 plus the 3 you have, that'll give you at least 17 million, which is still nowhere near what you want. But at least you'll be able to sign your draft picks. Okay, so it's time for the Nate Solder headache to go away. Say bye bye, Nate. Thanks for your service. Thanks for your time, but you gots to go. All right. Then the next one would be obviously Jabrill Peppers. Okay, you know, we got Xavier McKinney. All right, we got Julian Love. We got Logan Ryan. All right, you know, they can also draft a safety. I mean, we have 5 picks in the top 3 rounds. I mean, you know, I don't think we're gonna we'll be drafting high enough to draft the safety from Notre Dame, but Hamilton. But you know, we can draft a safety in the second, like you know, like we're Landon Collins or Xavier McKinney, grab one in the second round maybe, right? you know, but we can't, because he's going to want to get paid, and you know, he's got to let him go. Let somebody pay him, unless he's willing to take a big discount, hometown discount. I mean, which I don't think he's going to want to. He's going to want to get paid. You know, so let some other team pay him. He's a liability in coverage, okay? So just let him go. Let's save some money. Then the next one would be kind of questionable. Was kind of Will Hernandez. Not having a super spectacular year, but a decent, steady year. Okay, now it's like, you know, he's been on the line for 4 years now. Okay, this is his 4th year. He doesn't miss much time. He's had a decent season, nothing phenomenal. Before he goes in free, you might want to maybe offer him something to see if he'll want to come back. Now, obviously, it'll be up to him. You can't pay the guy $10-12 million. You know, I don't know if he's going to get that, but even if you could say $7 to $10 million, okay, somebody's probably going to pay him that. You know, I mean, I don't know if the Giants are going to want to or can pay him that. But, I mean, before he goes, maybe offer him something and see maybe where his mindset's at. You know, once again, if not, if he gets Shane Lemieux come back, because Shane will be back. That, you know, Nick Gates, you're not so sure of. Shane Lemieux will be back. Now, you know, as I said, once again, in the first, second, or third week, you can always pick up a guard. Okay, you know, could be as good as Will Hernandez. I mean, especially if you pick the guy in the first round, you should be as good as or better than Will Hernandez. So, yeah, I mean, there's somebody you can replace, okay? It's not like you're letting your left tackle go or you're letting the quarterback go or something like that, okay? It's a guard. You can replace the guard, okay? Then you got Billy Price. Now, this year he signed for $2 million, okay? Now, he's the guy that we traded B.J. Hill for. All right, we gave him B.J. Hill, the Bengals, and we got Billy Price. His PFF grade is 50.5, okay? Now, his pass protection grade, it's a 39.4. All right. Now, the thing is, hopefully, if Gates returns, Nick Gates will be our center for next year. Don't want to put him back out. I wouldn't put him back. He seemed like a liability at guard. Put him at center, okay, and hope for the best, all right? But, I mean, if Billy Price wants to hang with, I mean, you can't give the guy $2 million. You know, if you're going to give him $1 million, I mean, at the most. If not, just let him go. Let him sign someplace else. You can get somebody probably just as productive as Billy Price for probably half. No pun intended. You can get somebody just as productive as Billy Price for half the price. Okay, you can get somebody for probably about $1 million that probably do about the same as what he's doing. As I said, if not, once again, you can draft somebody. You know, there's no reason why you can't draft somebody in a second or third round and get a decent, solid center in there who can probably do just as much as him. If not, be the starting center, maybe back up Nick Gates, right? So you got to let him go. And the kicker of it is we let B.J. Hill go. Okay, B.J. Hill, for the Bengals, he has 3 sacks. All right, for the Bengals. Half a season, he has, not even half a season. So he's on pace. We let him go. He's on pace to get 6 or 7 sacks for this season. We let him go. Now, he's graded out so far to 76.4, his defensive grade. Dexter Lawrence is only graded out as 69.4. So as far as PFF's concerned, B.J. Hill is outperforming Dexter Lawrence this year. And he has more sacks than him. And he's almost graded out as good as Leo the Lion. Leo the Lion graded out as 79.5. 79.5. B.J. Hill's at 76.4. So he's almost graded out as much as Leo the Lion. He has almost as many sacks as Leo the Lion does, and he's a fraction of the price. Leo the Lion's what, $21 million? Yeah, so sometimes you can make too many moves. I get it. We probably, I guess, weren't going to re-sign B.J. Hill. This was his last year anyway. We weren't going to re-sign him. So I guess you trade him and get somebody in return because we needed a center. Okay, we needed some depth. So we got Billy Price, we traded B.J. Hill, and I think we got the worst of that trade. But we need somebody on the offensive line, so it is what it is. But it's just nice to see. I'm happy for B.J. Hill. I just wish he for some reason, I wish the Giants would put him on their defensive line, and he was that productive on it. Imagine if we had Hill with 3 sacks already, Dexter Lawrence, and Leo the Lion. I mean, that would be a nice front. I mean, we have almost, what, like 8 or 9 sacks so far between the whole front? That wouldn't be too bad. Wouldn't be too bad at all. And we had all those guys, one guy grading out at 76.4, one guy grading out at 69.4, and the other one at 79.5. That would be a nice threesome right there. But anyway, this is BJ's last year. He's going to want to get paid next year, and the Giants don't have the money to pay him, so they would have to let him go anyway. So it is what it is. And then finally, Lorenzo Carter. Now, Lorenzo Carter, in 7 games this year, he has 0 sacks. He has 20 combined tackles. So he's averaging like 3 tackles a game, combined tackle. He doesn't have a sack. The season's almost halfway over, and he still doesn't have a sack, all right? His defensive grade is a 57.8. Okay, and his rookie contract is up this year, and I say just let him go. I mean, you know, somebody's going to want to pay him. You know, I ain't going to be big money because the guy can't. He's a freakish athlete, supposedly. You know, he had, you know, this untapped talent, and we're not getting it. So I mean, over the last 2 seasons, I know he was hurt last year. I get that. He had 1 sack. So between last year and the short time he played, and so far this year, he has 1 sack. I mean, you know, once again, you can draft somebody. I know I'm saying we can draft everybody, but, you know, in the first 3 rounds, you know, we got 5 picks, all right? We got Lorenzo Carter in the 3rd round. We got 2 third-round picks, okay? I'm sure if we needed an edge rusher to match up with Azeez, you know, we can get somebody better than Lorenzo Carter. And, you know, if we got somebody in the 1st round to match up with Azeez, got Azeez and somebody else over here, got 2 good edge rushers, that would be absolutely huge. And if we take our other 1st round pick and get somebody on the offensive line, that would be huge as well. But these, I tell you, it's just a matter of time. So we got what? Today's Thursday, so we got what? We got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So within the next 5 days, we're going to get a notification. Evan Engram has been traded to ... Just fill in the blank. Who's it going to be? Well, we'll just have to wait. So you got 5 more days, but hopefully somewhere very soon, the Evan Engram saga will finally be over. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo!